Hello and welcome back to PMDD with a C. It's me back with another video. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a mental health professional just yet. I am in training, but it's going to take years, so yeah, that's another video. And I am just here to advocate for the PMDD community, to create a hub where we can discuss all things PMDD, to educate people, and to also grow and learn myself as I make these videos when I research PMDD and relay interesting thoughts, opinions, topics, facts to you. So welcome. This video is dedicated to Ash for Life, a lovely subscriber, and Ash for Life has requested a video on PMDD and relationships, if someone leaves you from it and how to cope. Again, so this is just coming from my perspective. I'm literally no professional, no expert in any of this. So when I make these videos, it's all coming from obviously my perspective. But yeah, I just think it might be interesting to outline my perspective and then get you to feed into it as well. So thank you for your request, Ash for Life. And here are my thoughts. So when somebody leaves you, it hurts. And if it's sudden and unexpected, you're heartbroken, aren't you? And that's for everyone, those who have PMDD and for those who do not have PMDD. It just hurts, doesn't it? But for those who have PMDD, there is an added element of conflict that could arise each month that puts pressure on romantic relationships and other relationships, but we're talking about romantic relationships here. And perhaps the person who is going through PMDD brings up old arguments that, you know, their partner thought that you had both put to bed. And things like this could eventually lead to a breakup. And the comment here is specifically about if someone leaves you because of your PMDD and how to cope. So let's talk about how to cope first. And this goes with any breakup from a romantic relationship. So in my opinion, when someone breaks up with you, you need to go back to basics, okay? You need to go back, if you think of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and like, you know, you've got your food, water and safety basics, you need to go back to your basics and self-care and really look after yourself. What does this look like? It could look like taking really long baths where you just get like a really luxurious product and sit there and relax and focus on your breathing. It could look like maintaining a lovely routine in the morning and night, and you know, getting lots of lovely skincare products and really pampering yourself, looking after your skin. It could look like cooking really healthy, nourishing, lovely meals that give you lots of nutrients and energy to go about your day. It could look like exercising, so like yoga, or anything that you enjoy, and for me it's yoga. It can look like reaching out to your friends, so that's, yeah, like self-care. Also making lots and lots of plans and keeping yourself busy is also very good when you break up with someone, because it distracts you. So you could do lots of socializing, do any hobbies that make you feel content and happy. But I do have to say, you have to sit with your emotions and acknowledge them as well. So you can't hide from your emotions when you break up. And I remember when I was heartbroken once, and I went through all the stages of grief, and I was stuck in anger for such a long time. I just felt so angry. But it's so important to sit and acknowledge these emotions, and in your head just say, okay, today I feel angry and that's okay. Sit with the anger instead of trying to mask it with things that will only temporarily make you feel better and probably make you feel worse in the long run, like, you know, alcohol and like sex with, you know, a stranger or whatnot. So yeah, so sit with your emotions, acknowledge them, and be kind to yourself on bad days, because you're going to have those bad days when you break up with someone. Be nice to yourself in your own head. Tell yourself, this emotion will pass, I am okay. And yeah, doing those affirmations in your head, they don't have to be cheesy or spiritual. You can just say, I'm okay, in your head, and, you know, really treat yourself well. Mindfulness as well, so is a good coping strategy. Sometimes it's hard to practice mindfulness when you've got those ruminating and anxious thoughts, but when you do feel comfortable and content on some days, it could be really good just making sure that you're really living in the present. And you can practice that by meditating, you can practice that by mindfully eating, you can also practice it walking down the street and looking at the trees and the pavement and counting the windows on houses, and it keeps you in the present. And living in the present is proven to make us feel happier. And if we do this often on the good days when we are able to do it, it can become our default mode, and it can really help us during our PMDD times as well. So yeah, another way to cope is when you feel ready, perhaps self-evaluate. It's always good to question what happened in the relationship when you feel ready, when you don't feel traumatized. Okay, so that's really important. And just think to yourself, is there anything that I could have done to improve the relationship? And is there anything that I can do in the future to improve my next relationship? But don't be too hard on yourself here. You have to do this when you feel very ready. And specifically, so coming back to the PMDD thing, when you're self-evaluating, perhaps you can write down an action plan for your next relationship and outline any boundaries that you want honoured in that next relationship in regards to your PMDD, and also think about ways you can tell your partner about PMDD and how to educate them about what you need during that time, and aid that understanding. So for example, if you get into a new relationship, you can have a conversation and just say, look, my pattern of PMDD is 3 days before my period, I feel like this, this and this. These are my historic symptoms, and sometimes I do create conflict, and here's how you can help me in this situation. So again, I'm a massive advocate for literally talking through it with the person you're with, and communication is key, and just warn them about it. So yeah, that's my very quick video on PMDD in relationships and how to cope if somebody leaves you from it. And yeah, if that's happened to you, I'm really sorry. I know that I have definitely put a strain on past dynamics because of my PMDD, and after making these videos and really thinking about my cycles and my past relationships and putting 2 and 2 together, I've realised that some of my actions within those dynamics are linked to PMDD, but I didn't realise that at the time, and quite a long time afterwards, like texting behaviours and this overwhelming anxiety where I've needed to reach out to them, and when they're not replying, me getting even worse, like anxiety and stuff, and that I've linked that actually to my PMDD phases. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what happened there. But yeah, these things are really hard, and when people don't really understand what's happening within you, and they're not educated about it, then it could be really scary for the other person as well about how you're reacting. So yeah, I mean, PMDD really affects relationships, the relationships with others and the relationship to yourself during that time you go through PMDD. So I just think, yeah, it's really important to educate everyone around you and give them the tools to help cope with it as well, and that will empower you during your PMDD times. So yeah, anyway, let me know if you agree with that. If you disagree with that, that's okay. These are just my thoughts, and I hope you're looking after yourself. I'll see you in the next